Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch. He knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
Jake Paul has been destroyed by boxing pros for fighting 58 years old Mike Tyson. In his second-to-last professional fight, Tyson faced British heavyweight Danny Williams, but endured a shocking defeat, as Williams secured a fourth-round knockout victory. Renowned trainer Freddie Roach was in Mike Tyson's corner for that match, later sharing with DAZN his experience of working with the heavyweight legend in the final stages of his career. Roach said, "Mike's a great guy, and I did train him for a couple of fights before the end of his career, but his heart wasn't really in it at that time. If he didn't knock you out in a couple of rounds, he'd get a torn meniscus in his knee or an injury somewhere here or there." He added, "But the thing is, Mike is a great puncher. He trains very hard. Being with Mike for 2 fights, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Catching him on the mitts was very difficult and a lot of fun. Getting whacked by Mike Tyson with the right hook isn't my favorite spot, but I lived through it." Then, in an interview with KO Artist Sports, Roach discussed Tyson's chances against Paul. He said, "I train Tyson. I like Mike a lot. He does come by my gym once in a while to say hello and visit and stuff. All of a sudden, this fight's coming up against a younger, maybe stronger man. Well, I can't say stronger, cause Tyson's very strong. But the last 2 fights I trained Tyson for, he didn't do that well. I hope he does well, because he's a good friend of mine." Meanwhile, Mike Tyson has sparked excitement for his upcoming clash with Jake Paul, releasing an electrifying video that showcases his fierce physical condition. In the clip, Tyson makes it clear he still considers himself the top fighter, issuing a bold challenge to Paul ahead of their November 15th bout in Arlington, Texas. At 58, Tyson appears as relentless as ever, set on proving that his storied legacy in the ring is far from over. Mike Tyson has reignited global attention with a video that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. In it, Iron Mike showcases a series of intense training moments, delivering swift, crushing punches reminiscent of his prime days ruling the ring. At 58, Tyson isn't just stepping back into the ring to entertain. He's out to reclaim his legacy, showing fans exactly why his name remains synonymous with greatness in the sport.
"This is the strongest I've ever seen you."
Yeah?
Yeah, the strongest I've ever, and I know you since you're 13. I think this impressed the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me. You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't lie. I was worried about him traveling here, traveling there. He's not getting... I can sleep now at night.
The video doesn't just display his physical prowess, it also delivers a clear message to his next opponent, Jake Paul, the polarizing YouTuber-turned-pro boxer. Tyson leaves no room for doubt. The upcoming fight on November 15th in Arlington, Texas will be nothing short of intense. "I'm still the best," he declares, gearing up for an electrifying clash. For Paul, holding a 10-1 record, this bout represents the toughest test he's faced in his career. Anticipation is soaring as boxing fans eagerly await the showdown, wondering whether Paul can measure up to a legend, or if Tyson will show that, even with the years behind him, he remains an indomitable force in the ring. Before his highly anticipated comeback to the boxing ring against Jake Paul, Mike Tyson's daughter believes her father is locked in. With Tyson frequently sharing footage of his training and sparring sessions, they are both finalizing their preparations. In his most recent Instagram video, Gene Kilroy was shown in disbelief at the condition Tyson was in. In the video, the longtime manager of Muhammad Ali stated that Tyson was in the best shape he had ever seen. He said, "This is the strongest I've ever seen you, and I've known you since you were 13. This impresses the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't lie. I was worried about him traveling here, traveling there. I can sleep now at night. This is great. You've done more workouts than what I've seen you do the whole time you fought Lennox Lewis. Am I right or wrong?" Many remarked on Tyson's impressive form in the training video, leaving many convinced that the former undisputed heavyweight champion is poised to defeat Paul. Milan Tyson, his daughter, likewise seems certain that her 58-year-old father is more than ready. She simply wrote, "Dad's locked in." Even Paul seems worried about Tyson's current state going into their first date. Paul looked astonished when Most Valuable Promotions shared a video of Tyson working out over the weekend. There has been a lot of controversy around the fight, even though it is anticipated to be one of the most watched boxing matches ever. The two boxers' 31-year age difference has drawn criticism, with some voicing worries about Tyson's health. After experiencing an ulcer flare-up while flying, Iron Mike had to postpone the initial altercation with Paul in the summer. However, Tyson has dismissed worries about his age, claiming that no 58-year-old in the world is like him. Tyson told Fox 4 News, "You can't compare me with other people my age. Other people my age haven't been training as long as me, been as consistent as me. I'm just a different species of human being." Legendary boxer Oscar De La Hoya has expressed concerns regarding Tyson's safety, admitting he feels a bit fearful about Iron Mike's chances if the match goes beyond the 3rd round. Even though Tyson hasn't competed in professional boxing since his defeat to Kevin McBride in 2005, and his most recent appearance was an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago. He's now actively training for a comeback. After being sidelined from a planned fight in July due to an ulcer, Tyson is back in the gym, announcing his eagerness to return to the ring. With the fight drawing nearer, buzz and speculation are at an all-time high. Oscar De La Hoya recently shared his apprehensions regarding Tyson's chances against the younger Paul on the latest episode of the Club Shay Shay podcast. "Come on, I saw him the other day," De La Hoya remarked. He further added, "I love Tyson. He's got a puncher's chance in the first 3 rounds. I'm a little scared of Tyson getting hurt after the 3rd round. Jake Paul's a big boy. He's 27 years old. Tyson's 58. I'm happy for him, that he's making money, that he still loves it. He's getting in there and he's in shape, but just be careful." As the eagerly awaited showdown approaches, the problem child has upped the ante by presenting Tyson with a staggering $5 million bonus on the condition that Iron Mike makes it to the 4th round of their upcoming bout next month. In a lighthearted video posted on his gambling platform Better's TikTok, Paul lounges shirtless on a couch, humorously stacking cash on his faux belly. Mikey, if you can last more than 4 rounds with me, I'll give you an extra $5 million, Paul declared. The American's proposition had an enticing twist. The problem child disclosed that should Tyson not make it past the 4th round, the legendary boxer would be forced to bear a permanent reminder of his defeat at the hands of the emerging talent. He added, "But if you don't, then you have to get a tattoo that says 'I love Jake Paul.' Deal or no deal?" So far, Tyson's team has not responded to the staggering wager. Since entering the professional boxing scene in 2020, Paul has established himself as a formidable figure in the sport. With an impressive record of 10 wins and just 1 loss, suffered against Tommy Fury last year, he has proven his mettle. Now, at the age of 27, Paul is set to go toe-to-toe with Iron Mike, following a stunning 6th-round knockout of former UFC star Mike Perry. In a candid exchange with Jimmy Kimmel, Mike Tyson was quizzed about his state during the upcoming fight with Paul, to which he responded, "I'm going to be so high off life, yeah." Probing further, Kimmel inquired, "Will you be high on marijuana as well?" Tyson didn't rule it out, admitting, "That's a possibility too." The conversation took a humorous turn when Kimmel remarked, "Oh no, my bet is getting lower as we talk." Doubts have been cast by fans over Tyson's commitment to the match. In his conversation with Kimmel, Iron Mike insisted on his rigorous training regime, stating, "I'm training extremely hard. I do 6 hours a day. I start at 11 a.m. and might leave the gym at 5 p.m. A surprised Kimmel questioned the intensity of the training. "Oh no, 11 a.m.? So that's 6 hours straight? Or is there a lunch break?" Tyson conceded there was indeed a brief intermission, prompting an astonished reaction from Kimmel. "Oh no." As the clock ticks down, Joe Rogan and his panel of guests have shared their thoughts on what they believe would be the perfect resolution to the impending showdown. In episode 163 of the JRE MMA show, Rogan brought together ex-fighters Din Thomas, John Rollo, and Matt Serra to delve into the eagerly awaited matchup between Iron Mike and the Problem Child. Throughout their discussion, Rogan expressed concern for Tyson's health, candidly pondering what emotions the boxing icon might be experiencing as he prepares to face Paul at this point in his life.
At the end of the day, Mike Tyson's a monster, and if he can get that monster to just move in and close the distance, and if he uncorks a boom boom on Jake Paul and watch Jake Paul go into Queer Street, that will be wild.
The Bellator FC legend observed that Tyson seemed to truly revel in the excitement while promoting the fights. It was clearly a positive situation for him. If he were to lose, many might chalk it up to his advancing years. Yet, a win against Paul would greatly elevate his legacy. Rogan shared his insights, emphasizing Tyson's strength as a competitor. He noted that Mike Tyson is, at his core, a monster. And if Tyson could close the gap and deliver a solid combination against Jake Paul, it would likely send Paul tumbling. Rogan concluded that witnessing such a moment would be truly extraordinary. When Din Thomas had his moment to speak, he confidently declared that a knockout victory for Tyson would be the ultimate win for the world. The podcaster elaborated, suggesting that the ideal scenario would see Jake Paul swiftly recognize the magnitude of facing Mike Tyson. He pointed out that in the initial rounds, Paul would truly grasp the formidable presence Tyson brings to the ring. This sentiment resonated deeply with the MMA veterans present as well.
To watch a 58-year-old Mike, that would be best
wild.
Case scenario for the world.
I agree. For sure.
Worst case
Best
scenario is
yeah.
someone gets hurt.
Yeah, best case scenario for the world is that he knocks Jake Paul out.
Yeah, best case scenario is Jake Paul realizes immediately he's in there with Mike Tyson. That Mike Tyson, at least for a round or two,
first time he
Mike
gets
Tyson.
cracked.
This clash is undeniably one of the most enthralling in the annals of professional boxing. It prompts us to consider the ways in which the baddest man on the planet might achieve a knockout over his opponent. Thankfully, Rogan offers an intriguing viewpoint on the matter. During the course of their discussion, Rogan remarked on Tyson's formidable ability to deliver deliver a knockout blow to Paul. He highlighted that a single misstep from Paul, like zigging when he should zag, could open the door for Tyson to close in and land a decisive strike. Yet, Rogan didn't shy away from acknowledging the hurdles Tyson would encounter. He pointed out that while Tyson possessed a vast reservoir of experience and a multitude of attack strategies embedded in his psyche, it was likely that Tyson had forgotten more about boxing than Paul had ever truly grasped.
Dude, he's perfectly capable of knocking him out.
He is perfectly capable. If he zigs when he should have zagged, if Mike can close the distance in a way that he doesn't expect, and Mike also has layers upon layers of attacks that are in his mind. He's forgotten more about boxing than Jake Paul has ever remembered.
The JRE host was fully cognizant of Paul's formidable combat abilities. His only wish was that the problem child would refrain from delivering a knockout blow to Tyson. It would be a truly tragic story for Rogan to watch the legendary boxer experience defeat at 58, and countless fans of Iron Mike would undoubtedly feel that heartache alongside him. Francis Ngannou, the ex-UFC heavyweight champion, has weighed in on the anticipated bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. As the date approaches for their November 15th face-off, many industry insiders and fans have voiced their apprehensions about Tyson's health. These worries were heightened after a recent incident in which the boxing legend suffered an ulcer flare-up during a routine flight, leading to the cancellation of their initially scheduled match. Ngannou, however, offers a different perspective and hasn't shied away from sharing it with Jake Paul. During an interview on Paul's podcast, the Predator discussed a range of topics, including his thoughts on the fight. Last year, Ngannou made a striking debut in the boxing realm, facing off against Tyson Fury. In preparation for that match, he trained with the iconic Iron Mike, who Ngannou believes still exhibits extraordinary talent at the age of 58. Due to his unwavering loyalty to Tyson, Ngannou encountered inquiries from reporters at a PFL media scrum last month about his thoughts on the upcoming bout. He expressed unwavering confidence, stating that he believes Tyson will take Paul down. This prompted the problem child to confront Ngannou on the subject during a discussion on his podcast. Jake said, "You spoke to some reporter yesterday or the day before, and you said that Mike Tyson is going to beat my ass." Ngannou responded without hesitation, saying, "I do. Listen, I have seen Tyson move around to show me stuff, and I was like, calm down. He has still got it. We're talking about Mike, bro. Mike is something else. He is a specimen." While many fans believe that a Tyson win hinges entirely on a knockout, Francis Ngannou argues that the former world heavyweight champion could also achieve victory through a decision. In an attempt to acquire an edge over his opponent, Jake Paul asked his guest if there were any particular things he should be cautious of in his preparation for taking on Mike Tyson. Ngannou responded by saying, "You need to watch out for everything. Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing. In another circumstance, I would be like, okay, let's go Jake, but with this I'm like, bro, let's be real." Breaking from the usual 3-minute round format, this fight will consist of 8 rounds, each lasting 2 minutes. The competitors will also wear 14 ounces gloves, a change from the standard 10 ounces typically used in heavyweight bouts. True to tradition, the match can conclude with a knockout, and the result will be officially logged in both fighters' professional records. As Tyson prepares to face Paul in their much-anticipated clash in Dallas, he'll enter the ring with a remarkable age difference of 31 years. This significant gap has raised eyebrows and fueled concerns among boxing enthusiasts worldwide for the legendary figure. Yet Fury, sharing Tyson's name, exudes confidence, insisting that he will astonish spectators and teach the problem child a valuable lesson. The Gypsy King said, "Listen, if Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's gonna knock them out cold, isn't he? Obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I'm named after the legend, and I'll back him. As he always backs me, I'm backing Mike for the knockout. Come on, Mike." Since his bout with the iconic Roy Jones Jr., Tyson has not stepped into the ring. The once fearsome Iron Mike now seems like a mere echo of the fighter who instilled dread in heavyweight boxers during the 1980s and 1990s. Nevertheless, he believes he can reclaim his former glory in a matchup against Paul, whom he claims poses no real threat to him. "Can I be honest?" Tyson asked his team while taking part in an interview with Esquire. He added, "I don't think he can hurt me." Although he hasn't competed professionally since his 2005 loss to Kevin McBride, Tyson remains confident that he still has what it takes to outshine Paul. The New Yorker said, "He's not going to hit me with the jab." Fans of combat sports around the globe are perplexed by Tyson's decision to put his health on the line in a bout against the formidable Paul, especially as he approaches retirement. Many are left wondering what drives Tyson to take such risks at this stage in his career. The former baddest man on the planet said, "I'm a glory junkie. I love people thinking about me all day. I'd rather live a short life of of glory than a long life of obscurity. It's just who I am. This is all I started fighting for, to get all this status. I'm going to be chasing it for the rest of my life. I know that. I'm never going to get what I want because I'm one of those gluttons for pain. I can never get enough. Former world champion Amir Khan has boldly forecasted the outcome of the upcoming showdown. He firmly believes that Tyson, renowned for his devastating knockout ability, will secure a decisive win by delivering a rapid knockout in the opening rounds. He said, "The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, wow. No one would have ever expected a fight like that fight to be made. Mike Tyson is a legend of the game and not someone who you want to mess about with. Even though he's older now and has been retired for a long time, he's obviously done a few exhibitions." Khan hoped Tyson wouldn't end up hurting Paul, adding that while he liked Jake, Tyson was not someone to take lightly or engage in an exhibition with, especially considering Paul's smaller and lighter physique. Khan said, "I don't know how this is going to go. Is it really going to happen? It amazes me and I'm shocked. I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even though he's in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy not to be messed with." Analysts are increasingly viewing Jake Paul as the leading contender, pointing to his youth as a key factor in his favor. This has raised alarms for Deontay Wilder, the former WBC champion, who fears that the outcome could be detrimental for Tyson. With an impressive record of 43 wins and a single loss, Wilder argues that Tyson is too old to take on a younger rival like Paul. He voices significant concerns regarding Tyson's safety in the upcoming bout. Wilder said, "I think it's bad the commission has licensed Mike Tyson because he hasn't been active in 20 years. So they should not just license him because of who he is. That's how people get hurt. God forbid he gets hurt. People can get hit in the wrong place and at the wrong time. There's lots of examples where guys have been hit into a coma. It's easy to do. He's too old for this." James's Buster Douglas is no stranger to Mike Tyson's strengths and vulnerabilities. Back in 1990, in a shocking twist, the Ohio-born heavyweight challenger defied all odds, knocking out the formidable Iron Mike and capturing the undisputed heavyweight title. This unforgettable victory remains one of boxing's greatest upsets. Now, 34 years later, Tyson is readying himself for a return to the ring, this time squaring off against Jake Paul, the YouTuber-turned-boxer. The highly anticipated bout will feature 8 two-minute rounds, with the fighters donning oversized gloves for added impact. Many critics have raised alarms about the matchup, claiming that the return of a 58-year-old fighter carries serious risks. Douglas, however, offers a contrasting view. Speaking with Gambling Zone, he expressed confidence that the fight isn't dangerous, pointing to Paul's relatively modest skills. He added that watching Tyson train reveals a sharpness better than most heavyweights today. Douglas said, "I don't think Mike fighting is risky because he's not fighting a legitimate 27-year-old contender Jake Paul. Mike is going to be relentless. And the clips I saw of him before, he's looking pretty good. Better than most of the heavyweights out there today. He has no reason to hesitate. Jake needs to go out immediately. And bang, let him know there's something to look out for. Otherwise, it's going to be open target season, and Mike's going to be throwing shots with no worry about what's coming back." Douglas remarked that Mike Tyson had never worried about the punches coming his way before, so why would he start with Jake Paul? He suggested Tyson would likely focus on attacking Paul's body, casting doubt on whether Paul could handle a serious assault there. Douglas imagined that as soon as Tyson gained momentum, he'd overpower Paul entirely. Douglas even threatened to terminate Paul's still-developing boxing career if Tyson prevailed easily. Douglas said, "The 2-minute rounds will be to Mike's advantage for sure. Those 2 minutes will pass quickly. You can get your shots off and then recover. It's not going to be good for Jake. I don't think there will be much of a boxing career left for Paul afterwards. I think once Mike gets rid of him, that's it for his boxing career." The clash between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson has boxing fans captivated, blending anticipation with unpredictability. Though Paul has the advantage of youth by nearly 30 years, Tyson's extensive experience and legendary status in the sport cast a formidable shadow. While analysts lean toward Paul, attributing his edge to youthful agility and endurance, Tyson's legacy and skill make it far from a straightforward fight. However, questions linger about whether Tyson's prowess still holds the razor-sharp precision of his prime. Boxers and analysts have shared their predictions, and now a former rival of Jake Paul has joined the conversation. Reports suggest that the match could face cancellation if Tyson doesn't pass his medical evaluations. Despite this, Iron Mike has repeatedly confirmed he's prepared to face Jake Paul this November. Recently, former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua weighed in on the event when speaking with Jonathan Ross, labeling it a promising moment for the sport. Joshua said, "I personally think it's really good. I think the boxing fanatics don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system you go through, and once you qualify there, you go through the professional ranks, whereas someone with a profile can come out of nowhere and fight the best guys." He added, "Let's say we divided this crowd in half and half are hardcore boxing fans and half are people that love a certain person like a YouTuber. But that person brings all these people into boxing with benefits everyone. It's a tough game, so everyone viewing helps, so I think it's really good for exposure." Then, anticipating that Tyson may be impacted by his age, he sided with the younger man in the hopes that the latter would come out of the altercation uninjured. Joshua said, "The only thing I'm worried about is Father Time, and Father Time has never been beat. Tyson is older now. I pray that he comes out healthy. I think Jake Paul will win because of the youth. That's the only thing. Because of the youth." So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.